Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So Ole Gunnar Solsjaer is not good enough for Manchester United and he's facing the sack. Now we have endured a poor start to the season. We have lost 3 of our first 6 Premier League games and all them defeats have come at Old Trafford. So we have not yet won at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season, and it is our worst start at Old Trafford in around 50 years. And we are sitting 15th in the Premier League, so we are near the relegation zone. Now, Mauricio Pochettinho is putting pressure on Ole Gunnar Solsjaer. Now, Mauricio Pochettinho was on Monday Night Football yesterday, and he says that he misses football and he wants to return to management. Now, I think Mauricio Pochettino is the favourite to take over at Manchester United. Don't forget, Mauricio Pochettino was linked with a managerial role at Manchester United after Jose Mourinho got sacked. Now, I think Mauricio Pochettino is a much better manager than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Main explanations is because he's well proven in the Premier League. He's dealt with top players. My only element of concern about Mauricio Pochettino, he has not won anything in terms of silverware. Now, Pochettino has been managerless now for like a year. He did endure 5.5 years with Tottenham. Analysing the vast majority of his tenure, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top 4. Last year, he guided Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final. He also guided Tottenham to the League Cup final, and he guided Tottenham to 2 FA Cup semi-finals. Whilst he was at Tottenham, I think he spent over £200 million. Now, before he was at Tottenham, he was at Southampton. He endured a very, very short tenure with Southampton. But he did guide Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League. And before he was at Southampton, he was at Espanyol. So far, he's managed 3 clubs in his managerial career. Now, it does mention that there's 5 clubs that could go in for Mauricio Pochettino. Now, obviously, we're one of them. Real Madrid, don't forget Real Madrid were in for him before. Manchester City, they've also been in for Pochettino. It also mentions Barcelona. And at one point, even Newcastle United were interested in him. Now, if we do appoint Pochettino in, he will be our 5th permanent manager since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. And obviously, if Pochettino comes in, he'll want backing by the board. And he may demand a director of football to come in, because we have been in the process of trying to get a director of football in since like the Jose Mourinho era. At one point, there was quite a few former Manchester United players linked with that director's role. He said the other week that we was interested in hiring Luis Campos, who's currently the Lille director. But if we had to get a director of football in, we need someone who knows the club inside out, and obviously someone who's got that experience. But it is one of the structural changes that we do need at the football club. Obviously, Massimiliano Allegri has also been mentioned. It says, we've been looking at him as an alternative to Pochettino. Massimiliano Allegri is the former Juventus manager. Would you take Brendan Rodgers at Manchester United? So yeah. But like I say, I think Ole Gunnar Solsjaer will get sacked as Manchester United manager, unfortunately, because I do like Solsjaer a lot. You know, he's a club legend and he was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance and that, but I just don't think he's good enough to succeed as a manager. He obviously hasn't got that proven pedigree. Manchester United is the third club in his managerial career. Obviously, before he was with us, he was at Mould. He won a few Norwegian titles at Mould, and before he was at Mould, he was at Cardiff. His record at Cardiff was disastrous. The main explanation he got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up getting Cardiff relegated. That's the reason. But yeah, Ole has been Manchester United manager now for almost 2 years. He's been with us around 22 months and he's been permanent Manchester United manager for around 19 months. And he has got a contract with the football club until 2022, and this is his second full season as Manchester United manager. Obviously, it cost the club around £4 million to sack Ole, but that's totally contrast to the 18 million that we paid to get rid of Jose Mourinho. Now, I said to you, didn't I, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had to exceed his expectations this season. And I said, if we could get top 4 this season, top 2 or top 3 if necessary, and win a trophy, you know, I think that would represent a good season for Manchester United. But the way things are going, that's obviously not going to happen. Ole has managed 100 games as Manchester United manager in all competitions. Obviously lost his 100th game against Arsenal. We lost 1-0. That was Arsenal's first win at Old Trafford in the Premier League since 2006. But yeah, Ole's won around 56 games as Manchester United manager in all competitions since he got appointed in. Now, like I said to you on one of my videos yesterday, there's still no philosophy, there's still no system. All his team selections are wrong. And we've got a poor ownership, haven't we? Now, not all of the blame stems from Ole. Like I said, you know, there's certain players that have obviously got to take responsibility. Obviously, a lot of Manchester United fans have been demanding the board out for several years. Main explanation is reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been. We've also overpaid for players. I think a lot of the players we have recruited in the last 7 years or so haven't been the right calibre players for Manchester United. And obviously in the summer transfer window, Ole wasn't backed enough by the board. And he revealed quite a few times during the summer that he was very frustrated with the board. You know what I mean? Obviously, you've had Woodward at the football club since 2012. So he's been with us over 8 years now, and you've had the Glazers at the football club since 2005. So they've been with us over 15 years, and obviously they've taken quite a bit of money out of the club. You've obviously had Matt Judge at Man United for around 7 years, something like that. He's accountable for some of the failure of transfers. He's been a transfer negotiator at Man United since 2016. We missed out on all of Ole's priority targets in the summer transfer window, and we missed out on a lot of targets in general, so I did say Ole deserves more backing from the football club. But to be honest with you, I think we made a mistake by giving him the job permanently. And we've made a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years or so, and that's one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent. You know, nothing's changed at Manchester United, has it? You know, it's like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Isn't it? But the main explanation why we give Ole Gunnar Solsjaer the job permanently was reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. And we have had some good periods under the Ole Gunnar Solsjaer era. Before the Arsenal game, we was unbeaten in our last 4 games in all competitions. We also went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions. Was it at the second part of last season? We went on a 14-game unbeaten run in the Premier League. And, we've enjoyed a fantastic start to our Champions League campaign. Obviously, we've had back-to-back wins, beating PSG 2-1 and beating RB Leipzig by 5-0. So we've registered 6 points from 2 games, and I'm very convinced that, we'll get into the knockout stages of the Champions League. But it's our league form that's really, really worrying me. Now, away from home, we've actually been better than we have been at home because we haven't lost any away game in any competition since January, have we? And I think Solskjaer has showed a lot of tactical flexibility in a lot of the big games since he became Manchester United manager. Now, obviously, he's beaten Julian Nagelsmann. He's beaten Thomas Tuchel. Last season, beat Pep Guardiola 3 times. He also beaten Frank Lampard 3 times, and he's beaten Jose Mourinho once as Manchester United manager, hasn't he? And I thought, we would have beaten Arsenal, recently. I really, really did. Because our record against the top 6 sides has been pretty impressive since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got appointed in. And there's other positives to take from his tenure. I like the way that he has promoted the youth because the young players have been given their chances. He has made some good signings since he got appointed in. They haven't all been good signings, obviously. Ollie's spent over £200 million since he became Man United manager, and he's enjoyed, around 4 transfer windows at the club. He's obviously got rid of quite a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in. So, yeah, they are the positives that you can take. We're already making plans for next year because obviously we're looking to make a couple of more signings next year. I think Man United need a centre-half. We also need a right winger. We're planning to go in for Daya Upamecano next summer. He's available for around £38 million because that's when his release clause does become active. And he did sign a deal with RB Leipzig, to remove his £45 million release clause. He's got a contract with Leipzig until 2023 as Daya Upamecano. He also said not so long ago that we could go in for Adama Traore in January. There was rumours recently about Calahanglu from AC Milan, but now I heard that we're not interested in getting him in because we inquired about getting him on a free transfer. I think we will offload more players next year because there is still deadwood in the squad. I think next year we'll be looking to offload Lingard, Rojo, Jones, Romero. Don't forget Romero said that he wants his contract terminated. I think we could loan Daniel James out next year. And I think Brandon Williams could be loaned out because since the arrival of Alex Telles, he has found game time difficult, Brandon Williams. Could we sell Matic next year? Because obviously Matic is aging up and he's actually lost his place in the team. Could Juan Mata be sold next year? I think Aldina Gallo, he will leave the football club when his loan expires in January. The main explanation we brought Aldina Gallo in on deadline day was to get that covered up for Rashford because at the time we brought Gallo in, Rashford was out with that back injury. But to be fair to Gallo, he was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup last season. At one point we inquired about getting him permanently and Shanghai Shenhua said that they wanted around £28 million, but I don't see us getting him permanently. You know what I mean? So yeah, there is still deadwood in the squad. Now, I also credit Ollie for what he did last season, because last season, like everyone's mentioned, he got us qualification for the Champions League, also guided us to 3 semi-finals, and he got us third. And that's the second highest we've finished since the Ferguson era. And don't forget, the first part of last season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. And obviously now Solsjaer is in the exact same position. But Ollie is our 4th permanent manager since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We've seen 3 managers sacked since the Ferguson era, and that was obviously David Moyes. He lasted around 8 and 9 months. He's enjoyed the shortest tenure at the club, hasn't he? Obviously, under the Moyes era, we've finished 7th. We're now enjoying our worst start to the season since the Moyes era, by the way. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years. Louis van Gaal did win the FA Cup, and we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years, despite him winning the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield in his first season. And obviously we spent nearly £1 billion on players in the last 7 years or so. This includes what we've spent under Ole Gunnar Solsjaer, you know what I mean? Obviously, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so last time we won it was in Ferguson's last season, but we are the most successful team in Premier League history. But I just think it's going to be hard for any manager at Manchester United to last as long as Ferguson did, or to replicate Sir Alex Ferguson's legacy. You know, Ferguson enjoyed 27 years at Man United, enjoyed over 20 odd years of success, because he won a total of 38 major honours. But don't forget, Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club, did he? You know what I mean? But it does take time for some managers to settle in, doesn't it? You know, like I said, Ferguson didn't settle in straight away. Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool, you know, he didn't settle in straight away, but look at him now. So it does take some managers time. But yeah, I don't think Ole is the right man for Manchester United. I really, really don't. Now, obviously, we've got Istanbul Başakşehir tomorrow in the Champions League group stage. It's our 3rd game of the group stage, by the way, and we are looking to make it 3 wins in a row in the Champions League, because we've already had back-to-back wins. Now, recently, I give you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference, and this morning I give you my preview for the game. This is a game Manchester United should be winning. Istanbul Başakşehir, they've lost. Their first 2 games in the group stage. They lost to PSG 2-0 and lost to RB Leipzig 2-0. So reflects on that, they are sitting bottom of the group. Now, Istanbul Başakşehir's current manager is Okan Buruk, if I've pronounced his name correctly. Like I mentioned on the preview and that, he won the league in his debut season, didn't he? Like I said, Istanbul Başakşehir have got quite a few former Premier League players in their team. You know, they've obviously got Demba Ba, they've got Martin Skrtel, they've got Chadley. Chadley's obviously been out of injury. I think they got Chadley during the summer. And they've obviously got Rafael da Silva. And obviously Rafael da Silva is a former Manchester United player, isn't he? Obviously, Rafael, I think, enjoyed around 7 seasons at the club and played on around 170 occasions. So yeah, looking likely, you know, he's going to be reuniting with Manchester United tomorrow, because I think he'll play. I think one of Istanbul Başakşehir's key players is Edin Viska. He's been at Istanbul Başakşehir now for over 9 years, hasn't he? Has he been there 10 years? Or it's nearly 10 years he's been there, and he's made over 300 appearances for Istanbul Başakşehir. They've got Junior Kekara, I think he's unavailable for tomorrow for them. He's injured. They've got a few other injuries as well. I think, like I said, Chadley, he's out with injury. But yeah, as you all know, Roy Keane has recently criticised Manchester United. Obviously, Roy Keane says that the players will end up costing Ole his job. He also says that the squad is not good enough. And he says we are lacking leaders in the team. Obviously, during the press conference earlier on today, Solsjaer disagreed with Roy Keane. So too did Harry Maguire, didn't they? But I've obviously got to say I agree with what Roy Keane has been saying. You've obviously got Gary Neville that has urged Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to freeze out the players that he doesn't want at the club. Now, our next league game is Everton. That's going to be a very, very tough game for Manchester United. Everton haven't enjoyed a bad start to the season. Everton recently lost though to Newcastle by 2-1. Got to say though, Everton do look a better team under Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti has been at Everton now for almost a year. And Carlo Ancelotti is a good manager. He's won around 15 trophies so far in his managerial career, so he has got a good pedigree behind him as Carlo Ancelotti. Obviously, before Everton had Carlo Ancelotti, they had Duncan Ferguson. They had him in on a temporary basis. Before they had him, they had Marco Silva, who was poor. They've had Roberto Martinez before. I think he did well when he was at Everton. And also, too, they had David Moyes, and he enjoyed around 11 years with Everton. That's the only club David Moyes has done well at during his managerial career. Everton made some good signings in the summer transfer window. They obviously brought James Rodriguez in, they brought Decore in, they brought Alan in, they also brought Ben Godfrey in, they brought Nkundu in as well, if I pronounce his name correctly. They've got other good players though. They've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who I think is a good attacking player. They've got Richie Arledson. They've got Bernard. They've obviously got Decoria. They've got Alex Iwobi in their team. They did have Theo Walcott, but he's gone out on loan to Southampton. They've got Sigurdsson, who's a good midfielder for them. Everton have also got Andrea Gomez. Michael Keane's one of their centre-halves, former Man United player. They also have got Lucas Digne, who's a good left-back. They've obviously got Yerry Mina. Is Seamus Coleman still at Everton, if I'm right? Obviously, Jordan Pickford is their goalkeeper. He hasn't been doing too well, though, recently. We've lost heavily at Goodison Park a few times in recent years. Obviously, in April 2019, we lost 4-0 at Goodison. We lost 3-0 at Goodison under the Louis van Gaal era. We lost 2-0 at Goodison under the David Moyes era, didn't we? Last season at Goodison, it was 1-1. But yeah, the preview for the Everton game will be coming up. It'll probably be on Thursday sometime. The preview for the Everton game will be coming up. It's 12:30 kickoff, isn't it? The Everton game. And it's an international break after the Everton game. And then after that, we have got West Brom. So Manchester United have got to start winning games. Now, I think for this game against Istanbul, Başakşehir, Solskjaer will obviously make changes from the 1-0 defeat to Arsenal. Now, obviously, Alex Telles, he's not available. I think, is he going to have another test? And obviously, it's got to be negative. He did recently get tested positive for COVID-19. Alex Telles was obviously not involved in the Arsenal game because of it. He was absent from our squad against RB Leipzig. Obviously, didn't play against Chelsea. Alex Telles, he did though play in the PSG game though on his debut, and he really, really impressed me. I think Telles is going to be a very, very good signing for Manchester United. We got him for €15 million with add-ons included, and Telles signed a 4-year contract with a football club with an option of a further year, didn't he? Obviously, we know Eric Bailly's not available for the game. He's out for a few weeks with a muscle injury. Solsjaer confirmed that last week, and that's my element of concern about Eric Bailly. He is too injury prone. Lingard, Solsjaer confirmed in his press conference earlier on today that he has trained. He trained yesterday, but I don't think he's travelled with the rest of the squad as Jesse Lingard. Obviously, Phil Jones is injured and he's recently had an operation, like Solsjaer said prior to the RB Leipzig game. But Solsjaer says Jones could still play a part this season, probably after Christmas. And yeah, and good news is Anthony Martial is available. He didn't play any part in the Arsenal game because obviously he was suspended, because Martial did get sent off in our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. And he got given a 3-match suspension. But now he's served his 3-match suspension, he's now available, is Martial. Martial was very good last season under Ollie. He was also very, very good in his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era. Martial has endured over 5 years now at the football club. As you all know, Dean Henderson, he could be making his Champions League debut tomorrow, which is good. Solskjaer mentioned this. So I expect Dean Henderson to start tomorrow and David De Gea to get given a rest. Dean Henderson has kept a clean sheet in his last 2 games for Man United. Was it at the start of the season? Dean Henderson signed a 6-year contract with the football club worth 120 grand a week, and he's been part of the club for several years, and he's got that experience behind him, because don't forget, Henderson endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield United, didn't he, like I mentioned. But I think he'll be our number 1 at some point, will Dean Henderson. Could possibly be next season now, couldn't it? Because I think David De Gea will remain our number 1 for this season. Modena Gallo, he's not yet played in the Champions League for Man United, so do you think he could be involved in the game, Modena Gallo? By the way, I think it's a 23 or 24 man squad that has travelled. I'm hoping Axel Tuanzebe can be involved in this game. I'm hoping that he starts tomorrow, to be honest with you. Axel Tuanzebe really, really impressed me against PSG, and that game against PSG was his first start for Manchester United in 10 months. Solskjaer was talking about Axel Tuanzebe prior to the Chelsea game, and he's challenged him to add consistency to his game to ensure that he has a long career. And obviously Ollie's hopeful that he will remain injury-free, will Tuanzebe. But I'd start him tomorrow and probably drop Harry Maguire or drop Lindelof. That's what I would do. I really, really would. Luke Shaw, I think he'll play tomorrow, like I've said. Paul Pogba, will he start tomorrow or will he be involved in the game? A lot of Manchester United fans have been criticising Paul Pogba, obviously reflects on his bad performance against Arsenal. Obviously, Paul Pogba was the one that cost us the game because he conceded the penalty, brought Hector Bellerin down. And Paul Pogba, to be fair to him, he apologised for the stupid mistake that he had made. I think Paul Pogba is likely to leave the football club next year. He really, really is. I think Donny van der Beek should be starting this game as well. If he does, it will be his second appearance in the Champions League for Man United. Donny van der Beek didn't start against Arsenal, but he came on. Like I said, he should have started against Arsenal. Donny van der Beek has not yet made his full Premier League debut for the club, has he? And we paid £40 million for him from Ajax, and Van der Beek signed a 5-year contract with the club with an option of a further year, and he currently wears that number 34 shirt. When he started against Leipzig, he was playing in that number 10 row, wasn't he? But Solskjaer did say, didn't he, that he's going to play a big part this year and he's going to be an important player, is Donny van der Beek. You know what I mean? Like I said to you this morning, I think Rashford could be rested for this one. I'm expecting Edinson Cavani to start. Edinson Cavani's so far made 3 substitute appearances. Mason Greenwood, probably expecting him to start the game as well. Fred and McTominay, I think they should be dropped. Fred wasn't good against Arsenal, gave the ball away far too many times, but in his 4 previous games to the Arsenal one, he did very, very well, did Fred, to be honest with you. He's been playing a lot alongside McTominay recently. And Wan-Bissaka, I think he'll start tomorrow. Do you think Juan Mata could also be involved in the game? Mata didn't play against Arsenal, did he? Do you think Daniel James could be involved in the game? We shall see. We shall see what happens. Bruno Fernandes, do you think, he could be rested, or will Bruno Fernandes start? So there you go. So what formation will Ollie go with tomorrow? It'll be interesting to see. Will he go with a diamond? A lot of Man United fans obviously want a diamond. Will he go with the 4-3-3? Will he go with 4-4-2? Will he go with a 3-5-2? Will he go with the 3-4-3? We don't know, do we? But he has gone a lot with the 4-2-3-1 formation since he got appointed in as Manchester United manager, didn't he? So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.